Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell so that you can be the first person to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Help us grow this channel by giving this video a massive thumbs up so that it gets recommended to other YouTube viewers all around the world as well. Lastly, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Court orders Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan, Buhari government to account for $5 billion Abacha loot. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, in a landmark judgment, has ordered the disclosure of the spending details of about $5 billion Abacha loot by the government of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Musa Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. The court ordered the government of President Bola Tinubu to disclose the exact amount of money stolen by General Sani Abacha from Nigeria and the total amount of Abacha loot recovered, and all agreements signed on same by the government of former President Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan, and Buhari. The judgment was delivered last week by Justice James Kolawole Omotosho following a Freedom of Information Suite number FHC ABJCS 407-2020 brought by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. In his judgment, Justice Omotosho held that, in the final analysis, the application by SERAP is meritorious, and the federal government, through the Ministry of Finance, is hereby ordered to furnish SERAP with the full spending details of about $5 billion Abacha loot within 7 days of this judgment. Justice Omotosho ordered the government to disclose details of a project executed with the Abacha loot, locations of any such project, and the names of companies and contractors that carried or carrying out the project since the return of democracy in 1999 till date. Justice Omotosho also ordered the government to disclose details of specific roles played by the World Bank and other partners in the execution of any project funded with Abacha loot under the government of former President Olusegun Yaradua, Jonathan, and Buhari. Justice Omotosho also stated that the excuse by the Minister of Finance is that the ministry has searched its records and the details of the exact public funds stolen by Abacha and how the funds have been spent are not held by the ministry. The excuse has no leg to stand in view of Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. Justice Omotosho dismissed all the objections raised by the federal government and upheld Serap's argument. Consequently, the court entered judgment in favor of Serap against the federal government. Justice Omotosho's judgment, dated 3rd July 2023, read in part: the failure of the Minister of Finance to write to Serap informing it of where the said information exists, or to transfer the request to public office who has custody of such information, is fatal to their case under Section 5 of the Freedom of Information Act. The ministry cannot use a blanket statement that it was not in possession of the said records of about $5 billion Abacha loot sought by Serap. The government failed to provide details of a project executed with the money. It also failed to provide locations of a project and the names of the companies and contractors that carried out or are carrying out the project funded with the money. I hold that by the clear wordings of Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act 2011, access to information about spending details of $5 billion Abacha loot was denied Serap by the federal government. The federal government had filed a 14-paragraph counter affidavit deposed to by Abba Sunday, litigation officer in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, argued that Serap's suit is frivolous as it has not shown that the government denied it the information it seeks. The federal government has also stated that Serap has not established sufficient interest in its application. The government urged the court to dismiss the suit. For the sake of emphasis, possession of locus standi has been the bane of the citizens' advocates in the public interest litigation to query transparency and accountability in governance in Nigeria. In a democratic dispensation such as in Nigeria, the citizens have been proclaimed the owners of sovereignty and mandates that place leaders in the saddle. The requirement is a serious fraction of the citizens' inalienable right to ventilate their grievances against poor governance, vice versa, expenditure of public funds generated from their taxes. The sacrosanct provision of Section 1, subsection 2 of the Freedom of Information Act, which has ostracized these disturbing requirements, has admirably remedied the harmful mischief apperent to it. Clearly, Section 1 gives a person the right to access any information from a public institution in Nigeria. Serap is an organization registered in Nigeria and thus a justified person. Here you have it, guys. The court has ordered the federal government to give Serap all the necessary information that they need. According to the constitution of a country, there is freedom of information. So such information should be available to Nigerian citizens and the public, to know the information that the court ordered federal government to provide to Serap are, what amount of money is actually the funds that was looted by Abacha, what amount of money was being refunded back to Nigeria by US and UK, you name it. So those are the informations that the court has ordered the federal government to provide. Let me know in the comment section if you think that the federal government is going to go ahead and provide Serap with these information, because like what we know in Nigeria, court orders do not hold water. Like court order is nothing to these politicians and high-ranking government officials. Let me know in the comment section if you think that the federal government is going to do what the court has ordered. Subscribe if you haven't, guys. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. Share this video with your friends and family. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.